All right, we've got a great list here that BuzzFeed put together about movies, or I guess I should say specifically kids' movies, that every grown-up should see.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about this with you because there's some very relatable movies on here.
Sure.
And I know that I can speak for myself personally, saying that Brittany and I love watching Disney movies.
Yeah.
Kids movies or family movies, whatever you want to call them.
I have some favorites.
Yeah. So let's talk about these movies. These are again a list of movies, kids movies that every grown-up should see.
Yep. We're gonna start with The Iron Giant from 1999.
I have not seen that movie.
It says it's funny, but it also drives home the idea of not judging a book by its cover. The animation is beautiful as well.
I've heard of it, and I do know it to be a very beautifully animated film. Do you know when it's from?
When?
Yeah.
99.
Okay, yeah, especially for 99, it looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I cannot say that I've seen it.
The person that submitted this said, one of my all-time favorites, especially as an adult, can't get through the end without crying in a good way.
Really? Interesting. I might have to check that one out.
Next up on the list is Up.
Watched that this weekend, this past weekend.
Had you not seen it before?
I have seen it before, but Brittany had not.
Oh.
And,
did she cry?
She's a soft touch. But there are some scenes where that got me, too.
It makes me cry in like 2 or 3 places. In the realm of emotional animated movies, it's kind of the worst.
That's the worst
but it's
one
a great movie
for crying.
I think so. Well,
it is so good. The movie's so good.
Yeah, between that and Charlotte's Web, those two, as far as animated, they get me in the feels every time.
So we've talked about this before. The scene where it's like the montage of their life.
Yeah.
You might want to check this out. I have the Blu-ray version of the movie, and one of the special features is an alternate version of that montage.
Oh, really?
Because they changed it because like one of the things that they would do was she would always like playfully hit him in the original montage, the one that the director wanted first.
Right.
Like, they would do all these things and the punchline would always be she'd playfully like punch him in the arm or something. And then even like on her deathbed as she's passing, she like punches him one last time. But I guess the audience didn't react to the quote unquote violence in the scene. So it was totally changed to what you saw in the movie. But what happens in the movie is so powerful that I like it the way it is.
Absolutely. The submitter for this said it shows that no matter how old you are, you can always find adventure and live out your childhood dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I love that movie. And it really confirmed it this weekend when I watched it for the first time in years.
The next one on the list is Labyrinth from 1986.
I don't love this movie.
It was bizarre and weird, but it says there's so many great lessons. Be careful what you wish for. Don't be afraid to go it alone, but also don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't trust gorgeous men with large bulges, but most importantly, life isn't fair.
I will agree with the lessons that the movie taught, but I'm going to amend my statement to say I don't even really like the movie Labyrinth. I know it's kind of blasphemous, but I watched it for the first time last year and I couldn't say I liked it.
Yeah.
I just didn't. What's next?
The next one is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh,
like,
you love this one.
If I had to tell you I had a favorite animated movie, it is Lilo and Stitch.
I think you've told me that this is your favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, this is, and the reason that it is because...
Wasn't it Elizabeth's heyday?
Yeah, and it wasn't even that it was just in her heyday. This was what we watched. Like, she would repeatedly ask for this. Even at like 10 or 11 years, we would just watch it. I mean, we watched it all the time.
Did you have it on VHS? Did you have it on DVD?
We had it on DVD. But like, I know almost all the words to the movie, and there's a scene in it where Lilo's late for dance practice, and she comes in, she's all drippy wet, and she gets in a fight with the other little girl, and her dance instructor's like, "What happened? Why were you late?" And she's like, "I had to feed Pudge." And he's like, "Who's Pudge?" And she's like, Pudge controls the weather. He's a fish. And there's some fan theories that her parents were killed by either like run off the road in a storm, or that they'd gone out on a boat, and that it was the weather it was a weather related incident that caused the loss of Nani and Lilo's parents. So it's a kind of a fan theory, and that's why Lilo has to go out and feed Pudge the peanut butter sandwich, and then she's all upset because she had to go to the store to buy peanut butter because all they had was tuna, and that was what Nani told her to feed her, and you can't feed Pudge tuna because do you know what tuna is? It's fish, and she would be an abomination.
Is that why you're always feeding our Weather Bay peanut butter sandwiches?
Yes, because Weather Bay controls the weather.
I hate comparing Jackie to a character named Pudge, but she's kind of our Pudge.
Sure. The write-up on it says, I loved it as a kid because it's hilarious. Now as an adult, I can appreciate it on a whole different level. Nani's a curvy lady. Lilo's a goofball kid that doesn't quite fit in. Stitch is an alien, and yet they all work together to show you that family is more than blood. As cheesy as it sounds, I just kind of tear up at some of the scenes. I freaking love that movie. And it was...
Thanks to you, I love that quote.
Ohana means family.
Family means nobody gets left
behind or forgotten. Next up is WALL-E from 2008.
You know, I watched this movie for the very first time 2 weekends ago. Yes, we watched a lot of kids' movies, and it was just okay at best. I didn't love it, but what's the lesson that's taught in this one?
It says that it's an adorable futuristic love story between two insanely different robots, and it contains one of the most important messages ever: respect and love your planet.
That's true. Have you seen it?
No, that's one that I haven't seen.
The thing that makes this movie tough is like there is almost no dialogue at all. Eventually, some human-like characters come along that use language.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's kind of like robotic sounds, and that kind of makes it tough. It's not a bad movie. I just didn't love it.
Okay.
Especially from Pixar, who has had a really high bar set. It wasn't my favorite.
Next up is Big Hero 6 from 2014.
Ooh, I have this movie and haven't seen it yet. I want to. What's the lesson here?
The write-up says it deals with death, depression, the importance of education, and especially women in scientific fields, and helping others. You laugh and cry all throughout it. I think I've seen part of it, but I don't think I've seen all of it.
Like I said, I have it. I just haven't seen it yet. We watch our Disney movies chronologically, see? And if I go out of order, it really screws with my OCD. So we'll get to it when we get to it. We're up to 2010 now. Our last one was Toy Story 3. So we're in the summer of 2010.
Yeah. Wow. You got a ways to go.
We're getting there. I feel like we're getting close.
Mulan from 1998 says it's a hilarious and heartwarming movie about a woman finding herself and defending her family honor despite gender boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
We have Meet the Robinsons from 2007.
3 weekends ago.
Really?
For the first time. Also not a home run, but there are some important lessons to be learned in this one. It was cute. What's the write-up here?
Well, it says it really sheds light on how alone some kids can feel and how important a loving family is. As a kid who was adopted, this movie really resonated with me, and I've never watched the final scene of that movie without crying.
Huh. Oh, yeah, that final scene is pretty moving. Okay. Yeah, you probably haven't seen it, have you?
Mm-mm.
It's not a very popular Disney movie, but yeah, there's some lessons there.
Well, the newer Disney movies are not ones, Elizabeth is going to be 17 in a couple months.
I understand.
I kind of am past the point of sit down with my kid and watch Disney movies anymore. Unless, she wouldn't even go with me to see Jungle Book.
Say what? Did you go?
Not yet. I haven't seen it.
It's awesome.
I know. I've heard.
Not that saying Rob said it's good will help, but tell her it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
Okay. E.T., the extraterrestrial from 1982. I saw that in the theater, Rob. I remember seeing that in the theater.
I wasn't born yet.
The write-up on this says it's everything that a movie should be. The cinematography is iconic. The score is stunning. It takes you through every emotion: happiness, fear, sadness, laughter. It was the first movie I ever saw, and I still remember sobbing my heart out watching it, and it stayed with me throughout my life.
Maybe I'm just cold-hearted. The movie does not make me cry. I get that.
I don't remember it making me cry.
It does have sad parts.
It does.
But it doesn't make me cry.
But it also had some really funny parts too, like when he comes out of the closet and he's all like he's got the wig and and
when E.T. comes out of the closet, right, is a very moving scene.
Right.
He comes out in that tutu, and he tells Elliot, "I have something to tell you.
Yes.
I'm coming out of the closet now.
Oh God, Rob.
Let me phone home." Let's take a break. We've got another half of this list.